Okay, welcome back to Baritone. Me and Octavius are ready for another lesson. We've learned the chord shapes, the C chord shape, the G chord shape, and the E chord shape, and how those are transferable up and down the neck. If you're unfamiliar with what I'm saying, please go back and review the previous lessons, and they're explained in detail. You get some practice on them, and you get to understand why this is a D when you play in the C chord shape and this is an E. You know, you can identify here's an F, and when it comes to the G chord shape, the E chord, the E chord shape, got myself too excited there, I almost choked. You know that this here, you're playing a G chord using the E chord shape. That's all taken care of in previous lessons, so we don't want to get too crazy on that. What we're going to do is we're going to start mixing and matching these chord shapes. So we're going to use every one of the chord shapes in the key of D. And we're going to play a D progression that goes from D, 4 beats in D, to G, 4 beats, back to D, 4 beats, to A, 4 beats. And then we repeat the pattern. We go D, 4 beats, G, 4 beats, but then we're going to go 2 Ds, 2 A's, and finish on D. So the thumb pattern, the strum pattern, the thumb strum pattern is thumb strum. So remember, I'll count them off with you, but we're going to go from D to G to D to A. Very, very, common progression. So 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4 to G, G, 2, 3, 4 to D, D, 2, 3, 4 to A, 2, 3, 4 to now D, D, 2, 3, up to G, G, 2, 3, 4, 2 D's, 2 A's, and D. So what a nice little melody you could have with that to put some words to and create your song. Let's do it again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 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 2, G, 2, 3, 4, 2, D, 2, 3, 4. Now A, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, 2, G, 2, 3, 4, 2 D's, 2 A's, and 2 D's. What a great little melody. Just have fun with that, and you could write yourself a tune, just using that. Now, last lesson, we talked about this little hybrid finger picking thing that we learned. And what it was where you would pluck with your thumb, boing, boing, and then pull with your 2 fingers on the B and the G and the B string. So pluck, pull. So instead of strumming, you could use this technique. Now let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4. Now A, 2, 3, 4, back to D, 2, 3, 4. Now G, 2, 3, 4, 2 D's, 2 A's, back to D. So instead of strumming, if you wanted kind of a more intimate, softer sound, maybe your song's going to be about whispering. I like to whisper, and it's really quiet, so I won't be strumming my something like that. So you get the point, one's a little louder than the other. Okay, so here's the beautifulness of this whole using chord shapes. Say you have a friend and that song that we just played in D, they want to do it in A, or not A, in E, for E. So here's D using the C shape. They want to sing the song in E. You just slide up everything 2. So your D will slide up 2 to an E chord. Your G will slide up 2 to an A chord. Then we'll go back to E, and then we'll hit a B, which slides up 2. That's where we were playing. We were playing that A with the G shape here. When we were in the key of D, we just slide everything up 2, and now we're playing a D, and then back to E. And so this is how it sounds. We're going to do it in E now. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. Now A, 2, 3, 4. Now E, 2, 3, 4. B, 2, 3, 4. Now E, 2, 3, 4. Now A, 2, 3, 4. 2 E's, 2 B's, back to E. And you could do the same thing with the finger picking that we did. One other thing that you could do with the finger picking is you could pluck the top string, the D string with your thumb, and instead of pulling on the G and the B string, you could pull on the B and the E string. Or you could alternate where you pull on the G and the B, and then the next time the B and the E. Now again, this is learning some muscle memory. You know, at first it's gonna be like a car wreck because your fingers don't want to do what you want them to do. And just think about how many times, usually our hands and our minds work together in unison to do things. Well, we're asking our hands to do different things. This one's doing this here, and this one's doing something different. So obviously it's going to take a little time. But you could pluck. I'm alternating there, and that's a nice. Or you could do 3, plucking the G, and then just do 1 for the bottom 2 just to accentuate it a little bit. So very, very good stuff that you can put into practice and add to your toolbox. Okay, I think we're going to stop it there. It gives you something to work on, and I think that's good. I have a Facebook page. If you would like to join that, I'll put the link to it in the comments. You can ask questions. I can be a little more personal there. So feel free to join that Facebook page. And I will ask if you appreciate and you're finding that these lessons are worthwhile, if you could subscribe to the channel. I sure would appreciate it. It's just a little indication that this is worthwhile for you, and I hope it is, and I hope that as we move along, and by the time summer comes, you'll really be moving into that intermediate stage, and then from there we can just keep going and move you along as far as you want to go. So I sure do appreciate you. Octavius right there with me, and have a good day. Have fun with it.